want to share with you today the idea of creating an exclusive connection with your customer by having effective eye contact. Now, to do that, one of the goals we always have is that when a customer comes in, we want them to feel very welcome. And so having welcoming eye contact, what that might look like is that the customer sees that we're not distracted, that we are focused on them and there's nothing else in the world, nothing else going on that's more important than us being with them in the moment. So I want to share with you 3 tips that could be helpful. And one of them is something I read 6 months ago. And it was this article that said, when you first meet someone, to build a better connection with them, look at them long enough in their eyes that you can see what eye color that they have. And, for me, that felt a little bit strange. I hadn't done that before. But when you look at someone long enough that you can tell their eye color, it shows that you're focused on them. It shows that you have paused things long enough to pay attention to them and to listen. And so when we're communicating with someone, we want that eye contact. We want our body language pointing towards them. Usually, when we're speaking with someone, we do a pretty good job at that. Now, one of the areas where we have a little bit more of a challenge is when we're listening. And the reason we can have a challenge with that is because sometimes when we're listening, we find ourselves maybe thinking about what we want to talk about next. And of course, when we do that, we don't feel really comfortable thinking about what we're going to say next and looking at a customer, which is kind of one of the giveaways that a customer may have in seeing that we're, thinking about something else. And so how do you cure that? Well, just don't be thinking about what you're going to say next. Stay focused on the customer. Stay in the moment. Maintain the eye contact. And you know what? The customer is going to appreciate that more and be understanding that there's a pause in your thinking afterwards, which is just a sign that you're really thinking about what they shared with you. Now, tip number 2, as you're speaking with the customer, don't maintain that straight eye-to-eye focus the whole time. That could feel a little weird to the customer, but, just kind of keep your focus on the customer. Maybe you're, looking at their forehead, looking at their eyes, looking at their chin, kind of change that focus around a little bit. Don't be too intent. You want eye contact, you want to pay attention, but you don't want to freak anybody out, right? Okay, so that was tip number 2. And then tip number 3, and I'm actually going to show you a video of this, but it's the idea that when they're sharing something with you that's important to them, squint your eyes a little bit. Really, all you're doing is you're focusing your vision on what they're saying. And same goes true for when you're saying something that has more importance to it. And so I'm going to show you a quick example. This is actually from former President Bill Clinton in a talk that he gave, but he was known for doing that when he wanted to say something more important, he would focus his eyes and narrow his eyes, squint his eyes. So quick example right here.
He used them on his own people. He used them on the Iranians.
All right, so that right there was the Bill Clinton squint. That was the focused stare that he would give when he was making an important point or when he was hearing something that had higher meaning to him. So try those tips out. Hopefully they're helpful for you.